Namaste everybody. So today we are taking up the topic desire. So we'll start with some lines of Savitri, what Aurobindo says about desire. In the canto, the Godheads of the Little Mind, he talks mainly about three main aspects of the little mind, the egocentric mind. He talks about thought, desire, and reason. And very beautifully, he describes there what really is desire. I've just picked up some lines from that. 1,000 shapes it wore, took numberless names. A need of multitude and uncertainty pricks it forever to pursue the one. Desire takes so many shapes. But if you go into the deeper meaning, to want more and more and more, and ultimately find the one. Behind all the surface wants, even the inner wants, we are ultimately trying to find that one, the one who has become so many things. On countless roads across the vasts of time, through circuits of unending difference, it burns all breasts with an ambiguous fire. It doesn't leave anybody. Everybody gets into this blaze of desire, burns every breast with the ambiguous fire. It is not the real fire, but it is one of the helpers to find that real fire also. A radiance gleaming on a murky stream. A radiance gleaming on a murky stream. It flamed towards heaven, then sank, engulfed towards hell. It climbed to drag down truth into the mire. It climbed to drag down truth into the mire and used for muddy ends its brilliant force. There's this tremendous force behind desire. The same force, if we can actually seek the divine, it will be far beneficial to us. Just saying this, I'm reminded of Tulsidas's story. Before he turned into a saint, before he became a true bhakta of Rama, before he wrote Ramcharitramanas, there was an incident wherein his wife had gone to her parents' house, Maika, and he was missing her a lot. So he crossed, the raging river, went to her house, somewhere in the maybe a higher floor, and he just saw a rope and climbed it and went there. And he realized later it was not even a rope, it was a snake. So his desire to meet his wife, the separation was so unbearable for him. Then his wife just made a passing statement. If the same energy you use to realize God, you will immediately realize Him. So that was a huge turning point for Tulsidas. So soon after that, he really turned and became a bhakta of Ram, and we know all his stories and how he was so united with Ram, like that. So this desire, we can use it for the divine alone, or in our very ordinary surface consciousness, for just accumulating lot of things, but forgetting the one behind everything. One more, in the same place, Sri Aurobindo described, to snap up insect joys, its favorite food. And I read this, the image of that flower, the Venus flying trap, and flower which you have read about, right? It just opens up, snaps up insects. So even like generally the animal kingdom, the lizard, reptile family and all. So basically it is just like wanting to be, life to be pushed only by desires. Whatever joy comes, it just takes pleasure in that, like that. That is its main food. Yet all the time, unwittingly, it drove towards the hidden something that is all. Yet all the time, it drove towards the hidden something that is all. So Sri Aurobindo again also says that desire can be a helper, desire can be a bar. So if we can just look at desire in its wider scope, so it is propelling us. Like a stone would remain a stone if it didn't, that push of that desire, the push of the evolutionary energy wasn't there to become the plant. The plant, the push wasn't there to become the animal, and so on. So it is that push which nature is giving us, that impulse which nature is giving us. But we should not just be trapped in that. We should know it is a tool which is helping us move forward, but just not stay in that lower realm of our surface wants and needs. And somewhere else in Savitri, Sri Aurobindo says, to really reach the ultimate, to seek the divine, and he has to clear a lot of things in his being. He says he has to tear desire up from its bleeding roots and offer it to the gods, the vacant place. He says correctly, he tore desire up from its bleeding roots and offered to the gods the vacant place. If we are just filled with ourselves, we are not giving any room for God to act in us, for the divine energy to flow in us, the divine qualities, all the mother's qualities to work in us. So he's saying it has to be torn from its bleeding roots. Desire is like clinging on to us so much. Like say when you go to for trekking or something, you have these leeches, right? They are taking your blood, and when you try to remove them also, there's so much of bleeding because it's caught onto your body, holding it so tightly, and you remove them, it's like from the roots you're removing and it's still bleeding. It's so difficult. And but still, if you have that will and that aspiration, very high aspiration to just belong to the divine, so that has to be removed. You will have to go through that pain, but you have to remove so that you're clearing the space, you're purifying yourself, you're calling in mother to work. If we keep calling and we are still stuck in our own limitation, our own circle of habits, wants, desires, all the silly things which life calls us to do, there's no point just calling her, but we have to do this preparation inwardly to clear it and offer mother. I'm struggling with this desire. It is causing some uneasiness in me. You do the clearing. You help me get rid of. You make room. You clear it for me. Everything belongs to you. You have to reside in me. You make place for yourself like that. So through these lines we got like what desire is in its nature. And Sri Aurobindo says it's generally generated from our emotional being. So the center of desire is from the vital. And he says though it belongs to the vital domain, there's always a thought. Say suppose you're just walking on the street and we have all these ads, all these hoardings and all that. So say you're hungry at that point and you see a hoarding of say pizza or something like that. So that thought has come, okay, I'm hungry, I think I need to eat. And you will energize your vital and make it go in that direction. So the thought and the emotions combined help you follow the desire. But the vital gives it that dynamism. Just being a thought, you're not acting upon it, you're not giving, scope for the desire. The vital and its energies, the life force gives the desire its full play. So it's an impulse, it pushes you to get something. It's an impulse which pushes you to possess something. And Sri Aurobindo says, mother says, I think here, desires are these waves, like waves in the sea. You can't help but breathe desire. You would think, yes, I am following the integral yoga, maybe to an extent I'm free from desire. And even though you feel, okay, some desires you have thrown off, it is no longer in you, but Sri Aurobindo says that it goes into somewhere deep in our subconscious layers. So suddenly, after many, many years, it may again appear in a dream-like state or something like that. So it's not that it is completely vanished. Mother says our mind is like a public square, it's like so many activities, so many things, and it catches on everything. So many forces are acting. And when she talks about accidents also, that's what she says. There's few moments of unconsciousness, few moments these mysterious forces take control. The desires are just thrown around that take control, and that tends to drive you. For example, you just walk into a mall or a shopping street or something like that. Maybe you didn't have much of an intention to buy. Maybe you're just accompanying your friend or something like that. But there will be in you, like subconsciously, okay, why not buy something? And whatever is like out there, it tends to feel so attractive. Oh, what if I get this? I can use it for this or something like that. But when you enter the space, you wouldn't really need to buy it. But the desires are like waves. It's just thrown around. People are throwing it out, and there are other hidden forces playing out there. Even all this whole marketing world and everything, right? Like tries to tap into that part of you, which is very gullible, so that you flow. And they keep repeating the same messages. They have these short phrases, songs, jingles and everything, so that you're hooked on, so that you are caught into this wave of, buying it, getting it, all of that. The whole thing works in that cycle. So mother is saying, you're just breathing desire. It's difficult to not breathe it, and it's impossible to satisfy desire perfectly. Even you feel you're satisfied desire, you were really wanting something, you got it, and again one more desire, several desires will crop up. There's never an end to it, because Sri Aurobindo told us in the beginning that this desire itself is seeking the all, because it knows it's the all. Somewhere we know we are the divine, and the divine wants to embrace everything. So desire starts off like that, but we don't use it in the right way. And mother actually narrates a very beautiful incident. She doesn't use her name in there, but she says like in a third person, this happened to this person, like that. And she says how once in Paris she was called to attend a very beautiful musical show, and there the Minister of Fine Arts was also to be present. So mother had got a space in one of those boxes in the same place as this Minister of Fine Arts. Then she realized this person was sitting right behind her. Then she realized this person was short, and she's probably not helping him have a good experience because mother's head is blocking the person's view. So she, throughout the concert, throughout the performance, she bent a little in her chair so that this person has a good experience. It's obviously like you are there in that event to enjoy the beautiful art which is shown to you. But mother also would have gone with that idea, but she forsake her desire so that the person behind her could enjoy. And she says it was beautiful to not satisfy my desire. What an opening, what a self-giving she suddenly got. Like that, she says. So she's saying it is like a contagion. It passes on from one person to another person, like you're talking about that mall example. And so it's very important, she tells, to envelop yourself in this light, knowledge, purity, so that desire loses its force. Even whenever we are going out, like in our home, we feel we're in a very comfortable spot. Everywhere pictures of the mother, somewhere in the background, ma, it is going on. But once we step out into the streets, get into our car, get into this traffic and everything, somewhere, there are many holes developing in our atmosphere. And outside forces will like seek entry through that. So it's very important to always call her, that take her, make her envelop you with her light, purity, so that you are such a safe in her wall of protection, her wall of grace, so the desire will really not come and interfere. So she says, become aware of the force which wants to enter. One becomes aware of the force which wants to enter, and one can quietly, when it is not wanted, make an inner movement and reject the incoming desire. This is the only true defense, a wakeful consciousness, pure and alert, which, so to say, which does not sleep, does not let things enter without being aware of them. There's an incident from the ashram. Once Nalinida, he was in the dining room and he was taking his food. He took his plate and he was getting one item after another. And in ashram, they usually give a lemon. Sometimes you can mix it with your dal and all. So, as Nalinida was trying to get that lemon, one thought came. Why the lemon size is very small today? And he caught that thought. Then he immediately writes to Sri Aurobindo, why is that? Why did this thought come? I shouldn't be thinking like this. Whatever I get is from the mother. I should accept it joyfully. Please, Lord, remove this feeling, remove this thought from me. It should never ever come. And remove it with a butcher's knife, he's telling Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo writes to him, why will I remove it with a butcher's knife? I'll use the surgeon's knife, the surgeon's scalpel, I think it's called. Very precise, fine instrument, it's not like a butcher's knife, so, rudely, like the way the meat gets chopped. He will remove very skillfully, like a surgeon. So, like, that is how we need to be, like, conscious. Moment something comes which is if you feel alien, you feel it is not the mother who's acting, just ask the Lord to remove it. No, this is not directly coming from you, please remove it, like that. In one other instance, Sahana Di, she used to write a lot of letters to Sri Aurobindo, and she writes, today I really feel like eating fish, lobster, like she's a Bengali, and in ashram you don't get all of those things, and sudden desire and urge to eat all these things. Then what should I do? Sri Aurobindo doesn't tell her anything about the Gita, be equanimous and just meditate now, just meditate on the light, just call the light. He writes, eat up your desire. Eat up your desire, 2-3 words. And basically that desire would create that atmosphere around you. So like we said, it starts with a thought and then it will make you act, and it will make your vital act, the emotions act. So during one of the pranams to the mother, so this one person was taking her pranam and just moving beside her. Then mother, after some time, she says, what is this dosa? So this person had the thought of maybe let me have dosa after the darshan or something like that. So it is just there in our atmosphere. And mother says they are like swarms of mosquitoes. Desire will keep roaming around you. And some place she says people who have a lot of these sexual thoughts and all of that, if you be near them, you will feel it. You will feel an ugliness, and that swarm, that their atmosphere is not so pleasant. So it's better, be following the path. Try to purify ourselves as much as possible. And when anything comes from outside or anything, some subconscious is also coming up, just be in their protection. Keep calling their name, calling them to take over and lead you. Like we discussed before, desire is like not, you don't need to condemn it so much. It is in a way, like for an ordinary person, it will help to shake you up instead of you being very lethargic and all. If you, it gives you that impulse to start doing, start moving, start using your physical like that, because it's always seeking for that oneness. So mother is saying, in the ordinary man, this impetus is generally desire. This desire ought to be replaced by clear, precise, constant vision of the truth. This impetus to act, for ordinary person, generally only desire can do it. But for us, we have to replace with this constant vision of the truth. Once I remember somebody asked a question to this person in Aurobindo, Manoj, he's from the Purnam community. So they were saying, I feel very lazy, very lethargic. I don't know how to get out of it. Then he said very beautifully, this line just stayed with me. And he said, if you know your true purpose, if you keep reminding yourself of your true purpose, this laziness and all can be, surpassed. So mother is also saying that constant vision of the truth. Not to just, be in that comfort. Yes, I'm lazy. I will be lazy. I don't want to move. I'll be like that. So what? Like, no. First, see in front of you that vision of the truth. See how Mother Sri Aurobindo is struggling to transform our natures. Easily give yourself to them. Don't make it a struggle. Like, just willingly be that child and offer yourself. Here I am. I belong only to you. Take me. Do what is most necessary for me. And now we come to what mother would say. How do you differentiate between need and desire? So she's saying, for example, you say, food is necessary for me. You believe, you imagine, you think that you need such and such a thing, and you find the necessary means to obtain the thing. To know it is a need or desire, you must look at yourself very closely and ask yourself, what will happen if I cannot get the thing? Suppose, taking the example of food, we look at it very closely and we say, what will happen if I don't get food? Then if the immediate answer is, oh, it will be very bad, then that means it's a matter of desire. And sometimes we are so habituated, no, it is, already 1 o'clock, I have to have my lunch. It is okay, 20, 30, 40 minutes here and there or anything. It's like you're feeling that restlessness. I remember Alokda narrates this incident. Once he was traveling in the train and there was a sadhu with him. It was a long journey. So they were reaching the destination, say they're going to Delhi or something from Hyderabad. So they're reaching the next day only. Next day in the afternoon probably. And this sadhu was in the train. So he was feeling so restless that he has to do his japa, he has to do this, cycle of mantras, but he's not able to have a bath. And he doesn't want to enter the railway bathroom. It's not very hygienic. He doesn't want to take a bath over there. But he said, I'm not able to do. My time has crossed. I'm not able to do. So that is like a desire, right? Fine. Vivekananda has told us that it is better to first cleanse your soul rather than cleansing your body. If you can do both, that is the most ideal situation. But in circumstances you can't cleanse your body, it is enough to cleanse your soul. So if he could just recite or do his daily rituals without getting agitated, that would be much better. So now it's like, what will happen if you cannot do it? Is it creating a restlessness? Is it creating an agitation? That means there is an element of desire in it. And mother says, know how to transform and not be in this restless situation. Like, have this childlike trust, the candid feeling that whatever you need will come. There's no question about it. When the child has of anything, he's certain that it is coming. When the child has a need of anything, he's certain that it is coming. Even when we see little children, right, they play, they fall, but there is a certainty that my mom is somewhere there. She is going to come and rescue me and help me, heal me. We always remember this episode. I told it several times. So there was Taradi's younger brother. This boy and his father, Taradi's father, they were just walking down around the ashram. He was very small, barely able to talk, barely 2.5 or something. No words are really started to come. So he fell while he was walking, and his dad is very next to him, and he wouldn't take immediate support from his dad. With that wounded leg, as much as he could, he ran to the mother, like telling mother in his own way, with all the babblings and everything, see mother, I got hurt. So that little child knows where to go. It has that complete trust in the mother, that supreme healer, the divine, and his dad, physically, he is to be responsible for him. But it's not even looking for the dad to help, but went directly to the mother. And mother very gently, sweetly applies some little ointment and gives us some toffee and all that. Mother also narrates about her, when she was in Paris and she was an artist and all. There was one instant where she was just walking in the street and she sees a very beautiful, like they call it a petticoat, I think like a longish gown or something like that. She refers it like that. And one thought came, it would be wonderful if I have this thing. And she didn't have the necessary amount to also she didn't fall immediately to her desire, the thought, and immediately act on it. Then the nature, the divine mother having this thought, the nature has noted it. Then in a few months, she gets 5-6 of the same kind of petticoat. So beautiful. So we just like, if some desire comes, just say, divine, the childlike trust. If you feel this is right for me, this is what I need, you give. If you don't give also, that means you're the one holding me, you're the one guiding me, you have something better for me. But my littleness and my little vision, for me, that's the most important thing. But in your wide, big, vast vision of things, that may be not at all required for me, you know better, like that. So there used to be quite a few of our sadhaks used to write letters to Sri Aurobindo, lot of mosquitoes, I need a mosquito net, my table is not so good, I need another table, the fan is not working, can you sometimes you feel, is the divine there to just do all these things? Then somebody asked Sri Aurobindo, I want a timepiece, a clock. Sri Aurobindo very beautifully in his most humorous way replies, what about some timeless piece? So beautiful. Yeah, even if we are going after these things, why not, through that, find that timeless peace, timeless joy. So we come to like how to get rid of a desire, like what are the methods, like why holding it, what is the problem. So mother is saying, when you are cluttered with too many desires, the divine will not be able to express itself. The divine will seem very blurry for you. So divine will is distorted by the introduction of a desire. Say you have this blazing light and you have several glass windows. You can see there's something coming. The light has to travel through those windows to reach you. Some little bit is coming. The divine will is trying to enter. But you are blocking with several other things. Your ideas, your, impulses, all the desires which come in with it. So just allowing that, removing one veil after another veil, allowing directly the divine to act without you bringing in all the desires. Mother says, people are used to thinking that when they want a particular thing, that's what should come, because their vision is too short. We just spoke about it. Too short and too limited. not an overall vision, which should make them see that the particular vibration is necessary to trigger a number of other vibrations. The possibility of doing away with that vibration of a desire through a broader and more total vision, broader, more total, more distant. That is to say, the vision of a vaster totality. Even when mother used to, talk to children, she wouldn't say, "Don't lock me up in the words I've just told you." It's like next 1 or 2 minutes, she's forgotten. The divine has walked 5,000 steps. Don't ever make my teachings and all the dogma something so strict. The mother said that. And in this context, there was a time when mother wouldn't like so much use of this artificial flowers to be kept in the meditation area and all that. But over time, these artificial flowers themselves, they became very, very beautiful and all. So people used to, at that point, not get artificial flowers. Then she would say that, now they are good. So what she had told earlier is no longer applicable. Even now, when you see mother's couch, you'll see very beautiful, like whatever color that couch is, they'll put the same color, little artificial fake flowers around it, which is really very beautiful. So the divine has such a broader vision. And in Savitri, in many places, Sri Aurobindo says that the sky is so vast, so big, but we cut it into strips. This is my sky. This is how it should be. This is what I will be looking at, or something like that. So Sri Aurobindo, in Synthesis of Yoga, he talks about what are these knots of nature that distort the divine will, that distort the divine light. So one is desire, one is ego, and the dualities. Then he also says the play of the three gunas, they are also build knots in you. The play of sattva, rajasic, tamas, all this create that distortion in you. And again, when it comes to work, right, we are always like, this is how the result should be. I should reach success this way. Okay, say you're running like a YouTube channel or something. I must get this many subscribers, this many likes. I must make this much revenue out of YouTube. We go after these goals, very small, narrow goals. So how to transform the desire is when you're working not to be so fixated, this is how it should be. That work itself, it's a journey. It is opening up a lot of qualities in you, opening all the paths which are, adamant and not opening to the divine. Through work, some of the things are opening. So mother has said, like, if you work with your body, it is like the very body is working for the divine, like offering itself like worship to the divine. So it's not that we should be going after everything, the results for the sake of the ego, but we should act detached and free, not under the control of the lower nature. So not seeking for the fruits of the work. I've put so much effort, I just need to get that recognition, that people appreciating me, the money which has to flow through it because I put so much hard work. But when we are on the path, if we are doing it so sincerely, offering every stage of it, every moment of the work to the divine. And Sri Aurobindo says, you can't do it continuously, the time of the work. In the beginning, you can say, I offer it to you. And the end, you can say with a lot of gratitude, I give this to you. Thanks for making an instrument to do this work. And in between, if you do remember, you can offer it to me. Like that, he says. In this context, I was reminded about one sadhak who wrote a very beautiful biography of Sri Aurobindo, and mother claimed it as one of the very well written, very well researched thing. And she had given him the task to do it. So then mother also was busy with several other works and everything, and she was not following up with him so much. But he had finished making that biography. Then one day mother asked him, okay, what happened? Where is the book? He says, Mother, I've finished. For him, it should have been that getting published, so many people reading. Mother told him to do, he did it. Maybe that is also a kind of a fault in him. He didn't complete the process. But he was saying, Mother asked me, I did it. And he didn't think so much of, the after effects, how it's going to publish in his name and how many books are going to get sold and everything. So he just gave himself, and Mother also has commented, one of the best biographies he's written, it's Rishabh Chandji. So that was the kind of not expecting the immediate fruits of the work. So during the work and during our day-to-day, being, what is this test of that we are not worried about the results? So the test is that being that absolutely equal, having that equality in the mind and heart, not to have even the slightest reaction. It is so much of a learning for us. When anything, just go out, get into your car, and somebody honks at you, there's an immediate reaction. Why is he honking? What did I do? Or something like that, right? She's saying, don't get the slightest reaction. Okay, just do as best as you can and offer the whole thing, the work, the effort, the time spent, everything to the divine. That's the discipline. The tiniest reaction is a proof that the discipline is imperfect and that some part of us accepts ignorance and bondage as its law and clings still to the old nature. So Mother is saying, it's just surrendering your being, mind, will, heart, sense, life, body to the One. To the One must make God love and God service our only motive. Surrendering everything to the One, and we must make God love and God service as our only motive. The other day I was listening to this very beautiful podcast. This 9-year-old girl, her name is Pranadi, something like that. You can just go see her on YouTube. She is an old soul, and she has, in the age of 9 years, read the Gita some 7-8 times, able to explain the Gita in a very articulate way, and she knows all the Puranic stories, the incidents in the Mahabharata, everything. And very passingly, she was referring to one of the slokas of the Gita, that she was saying, whenever I drink water, I feel that I am nourishing Krishna. As I am drinking, Krishna, who's so thirsty, his throat is dried up, he is drinking along with me. So how to use, the shloka, not just, by heart it and sit there, but really use it in your daily life. So she's saying, and Krishna in one place said, in the mountains, I am the Himalayas. In so many aspects, he says among the saints, I am this saint. Sorry, I don't know that exact shloka. And there he says, I am also the water among the 5 elements. I am the water. So if you see, every time you drink water, you're nourishing Krishna, you're drinking Krishna. Like that, always there's a spirit of consecration. So there's no question about, desire coming, an expectation of the results and everything. Because it's just a joyful service. You're just doing everything out of love, out of joy. But there are moments that we can't stay like that forever. So we need to keep reminding ourselves. It's why it's very important to read Mother Sri Aurobindo. If at least there we are drinking that nectar directly. Even if you understand, don't understand, you're in their atmosphere. And so many cases, many sadhaks have experienced also. They feel like Sri Aurobindo is with them, reading with them, guiding them, making them understand. Maybe they're not understanding intellectually, but somewhere it is going inside their being, and some part of their nature is getting transformed and just accepting that light. And again, in the Gita, somewhere Sri Aurobindo quotes it, limit not the sacrifice, this giving of your being, this consecration, Limit not the sacrifice to giving up of earthly goods or denial of some desires and yearnings. But every thought, every work, and every enjoyment be an offering to God within thee. Let thy steps walk in thy Lord. Let thy sleep and waking be a sacrifice to Krishna. At the same time, we all need the basic things, like roti, kapda, makan. Just be satisfied, be in that comfort. Don't say, oh, I don't want, I will live in this hut-like thing. I want to lead a very, austere life. I don't want any fancy things, no luxury. After all, we are children of Mahalakshmi, right? Like all beauty, all wonderful, all the riches, not even the material riches, the riches of the qualities. We are her children, and mother said, they long back they had these ceramic plates in the dining room. Maybe if you're seeing some old Hindi movies also, and they show a jail sequence and all, they'll see people the ceramic plates like that. We had it in our dining room. Then slowly it was replaced with the plates which we have, the stainless steel plates. And my mother once said, even this is not good. I want my children to be eating in gold plates. So we should not deny, whatever life is giving us, whatever we are blessed with, the divine which is giving. You shouldn't also shun it. This is not for me. I don't want to live like this. In that also, you should be that tomorrow if you have to step out of this, you should be able to do. That is that equanimity you have. Now the divine is provided with all the comforts and everything. Tomorrow there are circumstances and few of things are just taken away. And you should have that same equanimity, same joy, how you lived in that house. And when the divine is giving you this, you live, but not purposely torturing yourself. In the Gita, Sri Krishna has said that, I am dwelling inside you. So there are a lot of these sadhus, and who would have heard a lot of stories in the Kumbh Mela. So many of them would still sleep on, nails. And they have been used to that. They've been habituated to that. But that can't they realize that they are poking Sri Krishna? It may hurt him. The divine is inside them. So you shouldn't go on these extreme paths. Coming to think of it, mother, when she just was about to come to Pondicherry, I think she stayed in Karaikal or some place for a night. She was given a small room, and there were rats in that room. The divine mother, and she passingly, jokingly told, and she was not, purposely complaining, I am so and so, and I was given this room and things like that. So, and we have seen in Paris as a struggling artist, she didn't have the means, and she just took everything in her stride. So everything, like the steps we walk in the Lord. Sleep, waking be a sacrifice to Sri Krishna. And how to remove these clouds, these shadows, the desire, the ego, and everything else. For that, what's most important is to have that will, to know that they are distorting the light. To will and persevere with that will, Even nowadays we have, like some of us will have the tendency, if you're on Instagram or something of those social media pages, okay, few things are interesting, but then later you realize that you're just taken into it. And you've already spent 40-50 minutes just looking at random things and all of that. So is there a strong will when you say stop it, like to concentrate, do something else, something more meaningful. So that will is very important. But if you could know the benefits one reaps from this, if you could feel that peace, that serenity which gradually replaces in us the agitation, the anxiety, the fear which spring from desire, you would unhesitatingly set to work. Will with the perseverance. This willing and slowly getting rid of the desire. The desire itself brings with it, mother saying, anxiety, agitation, everything. If your neighbor has something better, you start churning within you, right? Like, I also want this. Unnecessary agitation. When we are small kids, maybe whatever marks you got, your mother used to compare it to the neighbor's kids' marks. So, like, knowingly, unknowingly, we are creating fear in the minds of children. Not, that's what, that free progress and everything mother has in every level tried to transform, not make us be so caught up in the lower worlds. A constant and unfailing will of consecration of ourselves to the Supreme is demanded, an offering of our whole being and our many-chambered nature to the Eternal who is all. Our many-chambered nature to the Eternal who is all. For desire and passion too have their divine forms. After all, everything is the divine creation. And Mother talks about these 4 Godheads, Satchidananda. The truth became falsehood. Like all these became their opposite forms. Life, death, like that. Love became hatred, all of these. So everything is like has the divine form and the lowest form. Everything is coming from the divine only. Sri Aurobindo says, bad is something which is in the process of being good. There's nothing totally bad, nothing totally good. Everything is a journey, it's a process, it's that shaping, that fine-tuning for the betterment. So divine itself may give you that pure the desire and passion to have divine forms. There is a pure ecstasy of the soul seeking beyond all craving and grief. There is a will of Ananda that sits glorified in the possession of the supreme beatitudes. There is a pure ecstasy of the soul seeking beyond all craving and grief. This craving after things, after situations which would probably be more favorable for us. I wish I could, the situation was like this, like that. There's this kind of agitation, a craving behind it. But we could turn all this craving, this longing into that pure ecstasy for the union with God. This lower craving, turn it to the craving for the divine. Like how Mirabai, how she used to crave for the divine. Her whole family, they just, told her to get out with that one idol of Sri Krishna. She used to roam around everywhere, sing beautiful bhajans. They poisoned her and they made her, really did a lot of cruel things around her. But she was clinging on to Sri Krishna, that craving, that longing, and told that when she was poisoned also, there was an image of Sri Krishna drinking that poison. And her body just disappeared and fused into the idol of Sri Krishna. So our yoga is to exile the limited outward-looking ego and to enthrone God in its place as the ruling inhabitant of the nature. Now the ruling inhabitant is our ego. Every small thing we're getting hurt, you're reacting. Why not just tell that ego to step aside? And Mother has said ego has no place. The truth is there, it is establishing himself, it's more and more clear. But give that seat to the God, to the inhabitant, the true ruler of our nature. So whenever I see the mother's chair, say in the playground, or some of the occasions they keep, these moments I think you should be taking that seat here in the heart, not the ego. So how beautiful if you tell the divine that you are the controller, you are the emperor, you decide, you be with me. Sri Aurobindo says somewhere, I think it is quoted somewhere in the Bible, it should be like, the zeal of the Lord has eaten me up. It's like I'm only going after the divine. I'm only loving the divine. And that has consumed me so much. The zeal of the Lord has eaten me up. And again, Sri Aurobindo is saying, no, the desire can be turned, the lower desire can be turned its to opposite, its true form, that ecstasy to crave after the divine. So he's saying it's good to desire for progress, desire for perfection. This desire should always be the center of our action, animating our will, whatever the goal we set for ourselves. And the desire to be conscious of everything, identifying one's consciousness with the whole, with the divine's consciousness. So instead of just looking at our immediate needs, immediate solutions, if we can always desire for progress, for perfection, for being conscious in everything that we do, these are so beautiful to just inculcate in our daily prayers, whatever we take up. And the desire to win the victory of your character. Mother talks about the small victories, small places where she says, step back, don't react, don't immediately what is coming up, don't act. These are small victories. If you are able to do that, slowly that becomes your nature, and the whole character would be in that state of victory all the time. However small it will be, however small victory you gain in your character, it is something, it is gain in the whole world, she's saying. So she's also mentioned so many times that all of us who are with her, call to them, basically there's a problem that she's solving through each of us, and that extrapolates itself to the people having similar natures. So there was a person who had cancer or something, and he was going through a lot, and somebody said, mother, your child, you're making, not to even say that mother doesn't give anything like that. Rather, it's like we are so attached to our lower nature that, and somewhere she says, the more you're so desirous, your body is also reacting that way. I have to chase this, I have to gain this, I have to accumulate, I have to possess. Your cells are multiplying so much. So unnaturally the cells are multiplying, and we call it cancer. So mother said, in this one person, I am working out the cure for cancer. So we may be thinking we have so many flaws, we have to deal with so many things, but through us, she is working out for the whole humanity. But not that we have to be in that zone, always brooding about it. I have this, I have that, I have cancer and everything, and mother is working out through me, and also be so proud of that. So they give it to her. We know, one of her very loving disciples, I'm forgetting his name, that French disciple who used to drive mother's car. Okay, I don't know why I'm not getting his name. He had Pavitrada. So he was also suffering from cancer, and he never used to make a big deal out of it. And he had to climb mother's steps. He was working till the last day, literally. And he used to take so much of an effort, so much of breathing problem and everything. But still he will do it. And these small children, 7-8-year-old children, and they would be making a lot of noise. Once mother went and told them, please don't make noise, because Pavitra is taking rest. So mother is that compassionate. It's not that, Sri Aurobindo, I am getting disturbed. Why so much noise? We don't know what highest levels I'm living in, and you should allow me to do my concentration. No, Pavitra is getting disturbed. Don't do, she's saying. So basically you have to, mother is working through us, and whatever limitations you're having, in that also she is working. Just what we read, walk, eat, sleep, wake up in the divine, be in the divine. And when you do feel caught up in these little desires, like we were saying, they're like swarms surrounding you and all, then try to just be vaster. She says, look at the sky, look at the open ocean, just expand yourself, be one with that. So whatever the little thoughts, the little emotions which they are controlling and ruling, gets melted in that. You get melted in that divine oneness, in that mother's entire embrace. Just before coming, I was reading like a compilation, and Sri Aurobindo was saying how to deal with people. So he says, if you know when everybody is the one, everybody is the divine, even to an extent, like dealing with our own people, we are more, stricter and more vigorous or something like that. Say like having to deal with your own child who's done a lot of mischief, and you would really want to maybe scold it or maybe give a little whack or something. But at the same time, you are dealing with your friend's kid. It's doing the same mischief. Will we do that? We wouldn't. There is so much of differentiation, right? Like when we think we are very attached, we are very close, and our reaction towards that is different. So if you could see like so many Krishnas running around us, everybody as mother, everybody as Krishna, and not like forcefully seeing it. One day all of us should get that true vision, which is the reality of everybody. So I'll end with 2 quotes, then maybe for 5 minutes you can meditate. So mother is saying, give me this, give me this, give me that, I need this, I must need that. Instead of all this, you will tell him, do what is necessary for me and lead me to the truth of my being. Do what is necessary for me and lead me to the truth of my being. Give me what thou in thy supreme wisdom seest as the thing I need. Give me what thou in your supreme wisdom seest as the thing I need. One other quote from Sri Aurobindo. The unsatisfying surface play of our feeble egoistic emotions must be ousted, and there must be revealed instead a secret, deep and vast psychic heart within that waits behind them for its hour. The vast psychic heart within waits behind them for its hour. All our feelings, impelled by this inner heart in which dwells the divine, all our feelings, impelled by this inner heart in which dwells the divine, will be transmuted into calm and intense movements of a twin passion of divine love and manifold ananda. This is the definition of a divine humanity or a supramental race. The unsatisfying surface play of our feeble egoistic emotions must be ousted, and there must be revealed instead a secret, deep and vast psychic heart within that waits behind them for its hour. All our feelings, impelled by this inner heart in which dwells the divine, will be transmuted into calm and intense movements of a twin passion of divine love and manifold ananda. This is the definition of a divine humanity for a supramental race. He tore up desire from its bleeding roots and offered to the gods the vacant place. He tore up desire from its bleeding roots and offered to the gods the vacant place.